Welcome again to Frostland Survivor Man. I am the Frost Man, and right here I wanted to show you something. This is mine and Joey's snow fence, and you can see how it's done its job there. There's a big drift on that side. There's an even bigger drift on this side. And right over here, the driveway is bone dry. So you can see how it did its job, which is just wonderful. There it is. Look at that. Look at that drifts on both sides. And the driveway is nice and clean. I'm taking a little video here in the backyard. You can see these deer beds right here up in the backyard. But I had to do the backyard today because the wind is so strong and it's gusting so hard that I needed to be on the lee side of the house. This here video, you can see how little snow we have. This is northeast Wisconsin, and you can see the deer not having any trouble at all digging out a spot to bed down for the night. It's a pretty much non-issue. And I kind of figured when I came down here, usually in this thicket back here behind the house, there's deer. Well, there's a rabbit, but there's usually deer. Wrong kind of buck. There's usually deer back here, and I thought probably I would spook one up and get it on the video, but so far I haven't seen any. Regardless of which, this video is in response to my very good friend and combat brother Ben and his video that he put out. And if I can get one of the IT kids to help me, I'll put a link in the description below. This is my backyard, and the amount of snow I have is pitiful compared to what they got. So my desire with this video was to just give Ben a shout out, and I'm really wanting to encourage him in what he's doing. A lot of, not just his YouTube channel, but a lot of what he's doing in life. And life isn't perfect, and we just go through trials and tribulations all the time. That's just the nature of the beast living here on this earth. That's how it's going to be. And Ben has had his share, as have I. Everything isn't perfect. But Ben, I'm really encouraged to see, is working towards making it better. And you know, we used to say in the platoon, there is no perfect platoon. The platoon is not perfect in its combat readiness, but every day we train, we try to take one more step towards getting better. We try to take one more step in making that whole unit function better together. And that's what my friend Ben is doing in his life. And I truly love you, Ben. I respect you. I'm so thankful to have you as a combat brother. They just got dumped on. They got a massive storm, and, well, not necessarily massive. Let me take that back. In my day, where I grew up, we used to just call that snow. We used to call that winter. Now it's Winter Storm Harvey, or whatever it happens to be, right? It's never just, oh, it's gonna snow tomorrow. It's all of this hoopla getting up to it. But you know what? My grandfather was pretty good at predicting the weather by looking at his cows. His cows could tell him what the weather was gonna do within a day or two. And another thing Ben put out is preparedness. And I really wanted to touch on that for a minute, because the mountain men, you know, when you're talking about people like Hugh Glass and Jim Bridger and Pat Fitzgerald and Jedediah Smith, those guys had a saying, and it was true to their time, but it was also just as true to our time. And it's keep your eyes skinned and your powder dry. Okay, now the technical meaning was keeping your eyes open. Pay attention, look at what's around you. When they were in the wilderness, there was any number of things that could rub them out in an instant. So keeping their eyes open and being alert for problems was very important to them. Keep your eyes skinned. The second thing was keeping your powder dry at all costs. Okay, technical definition, at all costs you had to keep your powder dry, because the powder would not fire, it would not ignite if it was wet. Keeping your powder dry was essential, absolutely essential to living in the frontier. So that's what they did. They'd say, keep your powder dry, and they would keep it dry at all costs. And some of them, I encourage you to read some of that history or get some documentaries on the history, because it's incredible. The mountain men were a short-lived group of people in American history, but they made a significant impact. Well, what do they mean by keep your powder dry? Be prepared, be ready, have it on hand, ready to go. Where we live, we get power outages. We don't usually get them in the winter. Actually, more often we get them in the spring and the fall. But we do get power outages here. They happen. And I have a generator on hand. I have a generator that my wife can move if I'm not here, so I can keep the freezer and the fridge running. We have enough food to last our family 6 months on hand at all times. And it's not anything fancy, and it's not emergency kits. It's just food to get us by if we needed it. It's there, it's ready to go. Plenty of gasoline on hand. Everybody, no matter who you are, 5 gallons of gas on hand in your garage is not a bad idea. Replace it every 2 months. Every 60 days, pour that can in your car and fill it with fresh gas. Those are really simple tasks, and Ben touched on that today. He touched on his preparedness. He touched on other people not being prepared. Now, this was funny. When we were living in the South, that was a real strange thing for us to get snow. Ben doesn't actually, neither one of us remember one of the snowstorms we got, because it happened while we were in Afghanistan. Our family sent us pictures of them outside playing in the snow because they all had the day off. Nobody could go anywhere. And the other picture that I got was the grocery store shelves. Just not a loaf of bread, not a slice of bread, not a bun, not a trace of milk anywhere. Even the powdered milk was gone. And that's amazing to me, that you wouldn't have enough milk to get you through 3 days on hand. That just doesn't happen to me, and if it did, I can walk to the dairy where I live and get a little bit of milk. So really good video, Ben, really good video. I hope I can figure out on my own how to get the link in the description. But it was a really good video on preparedness. And I try to live in preparedness now. I try to live my life by a standard, and I try to maintain that standard. And am I going to be perfect? No, I'm never going to be perfect. Am I ever going to attain that standard set for me that the Bible sets for me? No, I'm never going to attain that. But I'll tell you this, and I'll guarantee it, and I think my friend Ben will agree. My life is so much better when I'm working towards it than when I'm not. So to Ben and to all my combat brothers living in the Southwest, I know you're dealing with the same thing where you're at in Arkansas. And Kevin, I know you're dealing with the same thing in Texas. And Merle, I don't know what you're dealing with right now, but it's certainly not going to faze you, because Merle's in Minnesota, folks. So that's it from the Frostman today. Thanks for checking out the video, and we'll see you the next time. And Joey should certainly be here, because we have plans to do a couple more things before winter ends. So welcome to Wisconsin. I truly hope that this video can be just a small encouragement to you. And thanks again for your video, Ben. See you next time.